Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon, and this is day 6. This is day 6 of the Tarot Challenge. So what I'm doing is I've been filming these videos in bulk. So just a couple times a day I'll be filming the videos. This way I can upload them each day and have up for you guys to see. So day 6, the question is to discuss the first time I read tarot. What was my experience like? So I have a couple that I wanted to talk about. My very first experience reading the tarot is I actually read the cards for my boyfriend. So he was my husband. Now he's my husband, but my boyfriend at the time. I pulled the cards and I was, I got the candles and everything set up and I was really excited. I really did not, honestly, I didn't know how to read the cards. I had the guidebook in my hand, but I had seen enough YouTube videos to know that, some of these readers, they would light the candles and they'd have the tarot cloth set up and everything. So I did all of that. And he was very nervous, and I was nervous because I didn't know what I was doing. He was nervous because he wasn't really familiar with this kind of stuff. So he had the whole mindset of like, this is evil, this is bad, and I was like, oh, just relax, it's gonna be fine. So I do one of the spreads that was in the guidebook. And the very first card that I turned over turned out to be the death card. And it was so funny. It was like one of those moments from a movie where I flip over the death card and we both look at each other and he's just like, and I I just remember his face and he didn't say anything and I was like, no, this isn't bad, this isn't bad. So I'm looking through the guidebook and looking to see what it means, and now that I know the cards and I know the meanings, the death card was actually a really cool card to pull over, and it was so accurate because at that time in our relationship, we were very new. And so the death card was basically symbolizing our brand new relationship, the ending of a previous relationship that he was in, an ending of a previous long term relationship that I was in, and the coming together of the two of us embarking on a new journey. Now, that's typically how I would have read the card at that time, but in the past, when I didn't really know much about tarot, the death card freaked both of us out. So, what ended up happening was I blew out the candles, I put the cards away. He asked me to keep them up in my closet, don't really mess with them until I understood. And I left him at that. I left him in the closet and I forgot about him. Well, then about a few years later, I started reading free readings. So after I started the tarot journey with Luna Hour, that was the name that I was going by at the time, I started offering free readings. And with the free readings, I would basically have people on Tumblr send me an ask or a message and ask a question. And then I would tell them, give me your date of birth and your name. I don't know why I was asking that information. I just thought it was what people do. So what they would do is they would send me their name, their first name, their date of birth, and I would do the reading. And I would type up the reading. It would be real short, and I would post it along with a picture of the cards that came up for them. And that would be the reading. I didn't ever get feedback ever for any free readings that I would do at that time. And it kind of sucked because I didn't know, was I being accurate? Were my readings too amateur? I didn't have any feedback. So then fast forward to about a year ago, 2014 September, I started selling my readings because I was getting very comfortable. I was feeling really confident with my readings. I was loving it. And that's when I started getting the feedback for the readings. And I have a couple clients that have been with me since the very beginning of my journey, that have always purchased a reading from me over and over again. I have, the brand new clients that come to me, and I even have a couple clients that will randomly show up one month. I won't hear from them for a couple months, and then they come back. So it's really cool to grow those relationships with those people. But I have to say that my very first experience reading the cards when I knew absolutely nothing about the cards and about the meanings, it was just so hilarious that I pulled a death card, and it was just the perfect thing, for a person who I was reading for. He was so nervous about it. It was just really funny. Um, The first time I read cards for other people in person was very nerve-wracking for me. I've done a couple Halloween parties, and you know, I get nervous. I get nervous mainly because um, I'm always too busy wondering what that other person is thinking about the way that I'm reading for them. And then when I start to do that, I start to freak out and I start to worry that, you know, I'm not going to be doing good. I'm going to do crappy readings and blah, 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 blah. So I would have to say my experience doing online readings versus readings in person are very different because you're actually connecting with that person face to face. But I would have to say I do get a little bit much more nervous than I do when I'm behind a computer and I'm just connecting with the energies of my clients and typing up the readings. It's easier for me to connect online. Doing it in person, I have to just shut out like all the extra thoughts, all of my, you know, my insecurities and whatnot. So definitely there's new experiences with different types of readings. I did a phone reading one time. That one was really interesting. The first time I did the phone reading, which is the first and only time I've done a phone reading, I feel like it went pretty well. I liked that the client that I read for was giving me feedback as I was reading for them. So that was helpful because when they're doing that, it's like, okay, I'm on the right track. Let me pull some more cards and let's see what's coming up. So that's kind of cool. I think that's the advantage when you're reading for somebody in person. But for me, I do prefer, I love doing the email readings. I think those are cool. But definitely my very, very, very first first experience reading the cards. I love that it was with my boyfriend and who is now my husband. I think that that's special. And I love that the very first card that we pulled for one another, that I pulled for him, was the death card. So that is my very first tarot reading experience. This is day 6 of the Tarot Challenge. Thanks guys for watching. Bye.